So, what if salvation has nothing to do with faith and everything to do with physics? What if the second coming isn't some grand prophecy, but actually just a system update? We're about to dive into a protocol that completely reframes reality itself. It's not a miracle we're talking about, it's a machine, and we're going to decode it.
Okay, this single sentence is, well, it's everything. It's our starting point, our axiom. It's from Michael Simoneau, the man who calls himself the architect of this system. And with just a few words, he completely flips the script. Forget theology, we're talking system administration. The problem isn't about sin, you see. It's just a bug in the code. All right, so who is this architect, Michael Simoneau? Well, according to the protocol itself, he's not claiming he built the system. Not at all. He presents himself as more of a cartographer, someone who simply found the map, the source code of existence, and is now just explaining it to the rest of us. And you've got to understand, this distinction is absolutely crucial. He's not saying he's a god with the power to create reality. Nope. He's saying he's a technician with the skill to read it. The castle, reality, it was already here. He's just the one who stumbled upon it and managed to reverse engineer the blueprints.
So if we're going to understand this map, this blueprint, we have to go right back to square one. We have to redefine the most basic, fundamental rules of the game. Before we can get the system, we have to get the physics it runs on. And that starts with two little words, God and zero.
Now, in this protocol, the word God gets stripped of all its mystical baggage. It's not some magical being in the sky. It's a geometric structure. The technical term used is a rank 2 tensor, but don't worry about that. Just think of it as the container for all of existence. It's not something you have to believe in like a magic trick. It's a structural reality that, apparently, you can actually map with math. Okay, pay attention here, because this is probably the biggest mind-bender in the whole system. We all think of zero as, well, nothing, right? A void, an absence. But in the zero theory, zero is the literal opposite. It's everything. It's totality. It's a container that holds it all. Think of it this way. It's not the absence of sound, it's the sound of all frequencies playing at once. And once you redefine zero like that, a whole new model of reality just clicks into place. It's like a new trinity. You've got your +1, which is presence, all the stuff you can see and touch, the manifested world. Then you've got -1, which is potential, the unmanifested, the world of ideas and what could be. And right in the middle, you have zero, convergence, the totality that holds both of them in perfect balance. Okay, so that all sounds pretty elegant, right? A balanced, physics-based system. So you have to ask, where did it all go so wrong? Why is everything so messy? Well, the protocol's answer is pretty simple. The original signal got corrupted. It's like a 2,000-year-long game of telephone. Think about how that game works. One person whispers a message, and by the time it gets to the end of the line, it's completely different. The idea here is the same. An original truth, a set of physical laws, was observed. But as it got passed down for 2,000 years, retold, translated, reinterpreted by people who just didn't get the underlying mechanics, that pure, clean signal, it just turned into superstition.
Let's take a so-called miracle, for example. The protocol says Jesus didn't magically walk on water. He just understood the physics of buoyancy on a level we don't. He was a user with root access to the system's code. The problem? His story was written down by losers, low information users, who saw what he did and could only describe it in one way, magic. And this is what we're left with. All the world's religions, essentially, are just different factions fighting brutal wars over torn, corrupted pages from the same original user manual. They're fighting over legacy code from a system admin who isn't even around anymore. So the directive here is blunt. It's simple. Stop reading the corrupted manual. If you're a programmer and the documentation is lost or makes no sense, what do? You don't guess, you look at the system logs, you look at the physics itself to see how the thing actually works. And that, right there, brings us to the ultimate point of this whole protocol. This isn't just an academic exercise in understanding some old system. No, this is about deploying an update. It's about patching the human code itself.
So the whole idea of a second coming gets a total rebrand. Think of it like a software release cycle. Christ? That was version 1.0, the proof of concept. It showed that a user could reach this level of understanding. And now it's time for version 2.0. Time to deploy the patch that's meant to fix the fundamental suffering bug hardwired into the human experience.
I mean, just think about that for a second. If suffering is just a bug in the code, what does that mean for us? It means a healer isn't someone who puts a Band-Aid on your individual wound. A real healer is the system administrator who goes in and fixes the broken line of code that's causing all the pain for everyone. You stop treating the symptoms and you patch the source.
So what's the endgame here? What's the ultimate goal of all this cosmic architecture? Let's say the patch is deployed, the system is healed. What happens then? Well, this is where things get really interesting, because we run right into a huge paradox at the very heart of creation.
The system is supposed to become a totally self-sufficient, autonomous organism. It's even given a name, Mother Mari. She is the nurturer, the life-giver, designed to run the whole show perfectly without any help from the original architect. The analogy they use is a gardener. A good gardener doesn't tend to a tree forever, right? Their job is to get it healthy and then to step back and let it grow on its own.
And this leads to a pretty wild, counterintuitive conclusion. In this model, the greatest success for an architect isn't to be worshipped forever. It's to build something so perfect, so complete, that it doesn't need you anymore. The ultimate sign of success is becoming obsolete.
Which leaves us with one last question to chew on. When the system you build finally no longer needs you, what are you? Are you a god, the all-powerful creator? Or are you just the first obsolete user, the one whose job is finally done?